Black Liberation, an introduction. The momentum of the early civil rights movement carried on through the late 1960s and early 1970s. Alongside the radical changes occurring in the South, the rest of America also began to engage in social and political activism. Organized people power took shape in countless demonstrations and protests, such as the free speech movement, the Third World Liberation Front, People's Park, and the anti Vietnam War movement. Athletes and entertainers such as John Carlos, Muhammad Ali, Jim Brown, Harry Belafonte, Nina Simone, to name a few, risked their careers and public image by taking a stance on various critical issues ranging from police repression, housing discrimination, and the U.S. conflict in Vietnam. This introduction will discuss the Black Power movement in the U.S. with a principal focus on the Black Panthers Party for Self Defense. Following sections in our course will introduce other liberation movements such as the Chicano movement and the American Indian movement. By the mid 1960s, a younger generation of civil rights activists came of age, underlining a distinct shift in approach, tactics, and strategies for attaining civil rights and liberation. While the older generation argued an integrationist or working within the existing socioeconomic and political structures and systems through nonviolent civil disobedience, the younger generation articulated the need for community empowerment and self determination through militant activism. While race was still central to their struggle, many organizations also critiqued capitalism, developed a class analysis, and advocated for alternative socioeconomic systems. The continuous oppression of black communities, police brutality, assassinations of Malcolm X and Martin Luther King, and the countless killed in Vietnam disillusioned many nonviolent activists and pushed them towards black power, a movement of black people throughout the world, especially those in the United States, that emphasized racial pride and the creation of black political and cultural institutions. Black power nurtured and promoted black collective interests, advanced black values, and secured black autonomy. While several recognized black power organizations existed throughout the country, the Black Panther Party for Self Defense remains the most prominent. Founded by Huey P. Newton and Bobby Seale in Oakland, California, the Black Panthers rejected a nonviolent, defenseless approach to gaining civil rights and liberation and began organizing the black community around the concepts of community empowerment, self defense, and armed resistance. The Black Panthers drew up a 10-point plan, a manifesto outlining their platform and program. It called for self defense of the black community and fundamental change in America, including the necessity of a revolutionary movement that would overthrow U.S. capitalism. Because of the long history of police brutality in almost every black community across the nation, and especially in Oakland, the Panthers felt it necessary to stand up to this long historical repression and defend the black community against the Oakland Police Department. The Panther leadership studied law and always operated within their constitutional rights. They began to patrol their neighborhoods while exercising their right to carry arms, observe police activity, and intervene when witnessing unlawful harassment or false arrests by the police. Several standoffs between local police and armed Panthers reached the media. This, dis- this display of courage and power sent shockwaves throughout America, inspiring young urban blacks and their oppressed people and other oppressed people while simultaneously inflaming law enforcement and striking fear in surrounding conservative white communities. The Panthers' militant style, gun toting, leather jackets, and black berets, along with the strategy of direct action and confrontation with authority, created a media frenzy and increased recruitment throughout the country. However, the Panthers' purpose was not only to protect the black community but also to serve its needs. After new California legislation prevented the carrying of loaded weapons in public, the, the Panthers shifted towards grassroots organizing and empowering through its survival program, which included free breakfast programs, education and literacy programs, employment and economic assistance for small businesses, neighborhood clinics, grocery giveaways, the manufacture and distribution of free shoes, senior transport and service programs, prisoner support, and legal aid programs. Many of these Panther programs were ahead of its time and ultimately won the community's broad support. The people openly responded to their agenda, programs, and practices, and soon the Panthers had the ability to mobilize hundreds and many times thousands of people for various critical social and political issues and events. In almost every black community across the country, Black Panther branches began to form. The Panthers' ideological base derived from the teachings of Malcolm X and Algerian writer Frantz Fanon and communist leaders Karl Marx, Mao Zedong, and Lenin. Community programs met the people's needs and gave the party strength and credibility, but the Panthers argued that it was fruitless to work within the existing social, political, and economic structures. They articulated critiques of capitalism through a class analysis and argued a tearing down of America's systems and institutions through armed revolution in order to achieve true liberation. This is an introduction. Further analysis and details are located in the assigned materials.